Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. In a recent edition of Simon Jordan's podcast on TalkSport, panelist Johnny Nelson called for Anthony Joshua to retire. This is something which I've been calling for Anthony Joshua to do ever since he lost to Daniel Dubois. And my reason for saying that is that, in my opinion, he has reached the point of diminishing returns. I think he is a spent force. I don't think any aspect of his game or his physical being is going to get any better from this point, only worse. And given how much he's achieved already, I don't see the point of him continuing on in a diminished state, in a deteriorating state. And we're talking about deteriorating to the point that, like I say, Daniel Dubois knocked him out in 5 rounds in a one-sided drubbing. Obviously, Johnny Nelson feels the same for similar reasons. However, according to Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua has actually got a very different future in mind. A future where he actually fights several more times. Not 1 or 2 more times, a warm-up and then, let's say, a Tyson Fury fight. No, several more times and potentially several more years as a professional. Now, if we look at somebody like Tony Yoka, another Olympic gold medalist, he's had a disappointing career. He's not that much younger than Anthony Joshua. In fact, they might be around the same age. But with him, I wouldn't necessarily call for him to retire because he hasn't made the kind of money that AJ's made. And this is prize fighting at the end of the day. Because AJ's made so much money and because he's achieved so much, former 2-time heavyweight champion and all that, like I say, I don't think the risk is worth any potential rewards as far as carrying on. Whereas with Tony Yoka, he's never been a world champion. He hasn't made AJ-type money. So for him, the risk might be worth it. Do you know what I mean? I could see that. I wouldn't argue against it. But as far as AJ, if he is to box on for several more fights, who could he square off with? Well, if we have a look at the current heavyweight rankings, the top 15 of every sanctioning body, or the major ones anyway, you got names in there like Derek Chisora. He, despite being a friend of Anthony Joshua, after his last bout against Otto Wallin, threw AJ's name out there as a potential opponent. I think that actually wouldn't be a bad shout for AJ to fight Derek Chisora, to be honest. Let's say in his next fight. To reiterate, I think AJ's best bet is to retire, but if he insists on continuing, I don't think Chisora will be a bad shout, especially given the fact that Chisora is claiming that his next fight will be his last fight. So that'll draw a lot of attention. You know, Derek Chisora has been a fan favorite in Britain for a long time. AJ's been an even bigger fan favorite. So that fight, I reckon, would have some type of public appeal if they made it. There's Efe Ajagba, who I think would be a far more dangerous opponent for Anthony Joshua. He's a potential opponent. A Dubois rematch, it seems more realistic now, given the fact that Dubois got cleaned out in his last fight, also in the 5th round. So now Dubois-AJ will be more like a crossroads fight. Prior to Dubois getting cleaned out by Usyk, I didn't really see any appeal for AJ Dubois 2. Because the first fight was so one-sided, it would be like seeing Deontay Wilder versus Zhilei Zhang 2 immediately after Zhang knocked Wilder out. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why would anyone want to see that? You've also got the likes of Filip Hrgović, Jared Anderson, Michael Hunter, who's apparently going to fight for the WBA regular belt against Kubrat Pulev. You got Nelson Heisa. I think he's like a Albanian or something heavyweight. For one of those Eastern European countries, he's an obscure fighter. Doesn't seem that good. You've got Lanier Perro, who I don't think is that great. So there are a number of names in the heavyweight top 10, top 15 that Anthony Joshua could, in my opinion, at least be competitive with, if not beat. Perhaps he'll start off with names like that, maybe 1 or 2 of them. And if he's successful, then target a major name. AJ is apparently still ambitious. He doesn't want to go out on the kind of performance he's putting against Dubois. But going back to Johnny Nelson's views on Anthony Joshua, he thinks that AJ could get turned over at this point by literally anyone in the top 10, top 15. So he doesn't think it's even worth fighting one of the kind of names that I just mentioned. But what say you? Do you think AJ should retire? Or are you okay with him continuing? And if you are, who do you think he should be fighting? Which kind of route do you think he should be taking? He has been out the ring a long time. Do you think it's better for him to fight a few lesser opponents and then target a big name? Or just go straight into a fight against a big name? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.